Hi guys, we played a bit with our friend Bizarro the other day, and now let's play with our friend Batzarro. And let's see if we can raise his level up to level 30. Probably not today, but we'll see. So essentially, our next mission, we're doing the Eclipso mission. So let's go to Metropolis for that. And actually, before we do that, I think I may have. So now we're going to be able to start using our teleporter a bit more. Oh, wrong one. So let's see. We have to go towards. I'm not sure what the. Let's go to the Daily Planet. We should be close enough. Hey, Flash. I'm good. I'm good. And you? We're very, very close to 400 subscribers, which is awesome. Never thought we'd reach that number. Oh, and we just made a feat just by coming here. So let's see. So where else? Where do we need to go? Freaking Quest Tracker, which doesn't seem to be. There we go.
Have yet to understand that for there to be light, there must be shadow. And now, the
Oh, I
power
need
of
to
the
go to the
shadow
nightclub. I should have checked.
Your goddess thanks
No, we're doing good today. Although the weather is well, pretty crappy today, but not a big deal. We're inside, so it doesn't really matter. And I gave the Batwoman cape to our friend Batzarro. Yeah, ideally two more should do it, but sometimes subscribers do go up and down a bit. So sometimes you go up by 10, then you lose 2, then you go up by 10, then you lose 2 or 3. It pretty much works like that. Ideally, 2 should do the tricks, but at least maybe 5, so that if 1 or 2 decide to leave, we'll still be at 400. Sadly, there's no feature to let us know why some people sometimes unsubscribe. Maybe that's something they should add at some point. So let's talk to our friend Felix Faust. Well, thank you, Exatal.
Oh, this is interesting. Heard of the Sinestro Corps?
Ah,
You know,
crap.
the anti-Green Lantern Corps with rings powered by fear.
My day's going
They're looking
good,
for some
other than I
slaves
keep
back
on
If you're ready to join the
needing to
Hydra
go back
Alliance,
to
need
the
to
Midtown
recruit
safe
for the
house because
downtown safe house.
I didn't realize that we were pretty much done with the mission. So we just completed the mission with Felix Faust, and now we're gonna start the Green Lantern missions. Ah, that's so sad. That's so sweet, Flash. Thank you very much. If I had a million like you, I'd be rich, or something like that. Okay, so let's see. We did get a piece of gear, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't really help us.
This is Lex Luthor, helping the Sinestro Corps. Vicious of you. I admire that.
Well, thank you, Exatal.
Doesn't
I
get
much
in my way.
appreciated.
My data shows
Well,
a
thank you,
powerful
Flash.
interference pulse somewhere in Metropolis.
Uh, yeah, maybe. I'm toying with the idea of maybe doing some sort of giveaway. Last time I did one, it was okay. So I'm toying possibly maybe doing a giveaway or maybe doing a special video. I'm not sure yet. Tomorrow I'll try to come up with something. The problem with giveaways is that if I do a giveaway, it's going to be only for people on US PC and US PS4. So if you guys are playing, let's say on Xbox or on European servers, uh, you wouldn't be part of the giveaway. I could do some sort of some sort of best of. That would be an option.
Think you know what fear means? Then you can show some of our new members how it's done. That coward.
Or some sort of top 10 videos. Although it's going to be it would be hard to find. I always find it hard to find just a few videos that I prefer over the rest. Or I have the same problems with movies. Like there's billions of movies. How do you choose only 10? Yeah, I have the double XP right now. If you'll notice when my character switches area, you'll see the purple glow around him. Although one thing I realized with my Batzarro character is that once you reach level 30, essentially, yeah, you're level 30, that's nice, but your combat rating is like combat rating 25. So if I was a new player and this was like my first character, I'd be in a bit of a hard spot. I'd be a bit in trouble. Because essentially once you reach level 30, then you have to find ways to raise your combat rating to be at least combat rating 30. Which again is not really an issue if you're an old timer, but for a new player that could be a bit tricky. Although it's not impossible, I guess. You just need to maybe purchase a few pieces of gear from the broker. But when we did discuss the issue on the forum, and some people did seem to think that it was a big deal for new players to purchase anything on the broker. Well, let's go all the way over here. Should have a few lanterns who need our help. I'm a bit surprised that there doesn't seem to be that many people on today. For a Sunday, you'd figure on the weekend people would be logged in, unless there's some sort of holiday or something that I'm not aware of.
I cannot seem to maintain my constructs. You will watch over me till I do. Behold, Earth Dweller. One construct in my command. Look at these hideous slugs.
Yeah, Neverwinter is okay, I guess. I don't think I'll do that many streams with Neverwinter, but probably once in a while.
So the Green Lantern rings create hard light constructs based on the user's
I didn't realize we
willpower.
were done already.
Their will and Zappo, no more construct. The throwdown continues closer to City Hall. Updating your map.
Essentially, I'm a big Dungeons and Dragon fan, and I thought Neverwinter could be fun for a D&D fan like me. It's a nice distraction, but I wouldn't be able to play it anywhere near as much as I'm playing DCUO. I guess if I want to have my D&D fix, I'm still going to have to play the good old classics like Baldur's Gate. I wish we could have a lantern like that in our base for our Green Lantern characters. Oh yeah, level up. Hey, Black Flag. So let's see, we need to defeat 10 more lanterns. Well, Rebirth seems to have struck a chord with fans. It seems to be selling really well. Hopefully it will not do like with the new 52. Essentially the new 52 started out strong, but sadly sales quickly went down the drain, and also they started canceling comics at a pretty rapid pace. So hopefully Rebirth will be able to sustain its sales. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But one place that DC really dominates is with their TV shows. Their TV shows are light year ahead of what Marvel produces. Although Marvel seems to be doing a little better with their TV shows, with their Netflix TV shows. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. We're fighting some evil lanterns, which is always fun. So let's get out of here. Well, let's see what we got. Oh, we got 2 power points and 2 skill points. I'll worry about that a bit later.
I'm scanning the Sinestro core and Green Lantern energy signatures, and the same frequency seems to be affecting them both. It's blocking access to their usual power sources, but I can't get
So we have a side quest ready here. It's really quiet today. I'm a bit surprised. Not sure how it was yesterday. Didn't really play yesterday. Actually, I did play a bit yesterday, I think. I hope you guys are doing good. Not sure how the weather is in your neck of the woods. Here it's pretty much a gray, stormy day, but that's okay. Sure. Sure, I could play as a hero a bit later. Do you have any specific hero you'd like to see, or any hero is okay? Arkham Knight had some good Arkham Knight has some good bits. Visually, it was really fun, and also especially I know Risa. And essentially, Arkham Knight, the really fun part, I remember when I first started playing, the atmosphere of the game was really strong. I was playing like in the dark with my headphones, and it was really immersive, at least at first. But I got really tired of the Batmobile, if it makes any sense. I understand that they had added the whole Batmobile mechanic, and they wanted to show it off a bit. But there were way too many missions requiring the Batmobile, and I quickly got tired of those tank battles where essentially you had to turn the Batmobile into a tank and fight half a dozen other tanks. It was fun the first time, the second time too, but the 23rd time I was pretty much tired of that. So I didn't play through the whole thing. I played through a whole bunch of it, but I wasn't able to finish it, and I didn't play most of the DLCs, sadly. Oh yeah, level up. That is sweet. So visually, Arkham Knight was pretty impressive. For the atmosphere, it was great. But the gameplay itself, I wasn't too crazy about that. And essentially, I kept on asking myself, why am I playing Arkham Knight when I can play when I can play DCUO? I guess DCUO is more of the kind of game I enjoy as opposed to something like Arkham Knight. And we have an evil hero nearby. We're barely. Well, ammunition seems to be pretty sweet. Might as well let him go. I haven't tried the Telltale series. I've seen a few gameplay videos. It doesn't really. I don't have much interest in that kind of game, I guess. Essentially, it reminds me of there was this old game called Dragon's Lair, where essentially it was a cartoon, and at a few points, as the cartoon was playing, you could essentially press a button or push a joystick to try to influence what was happening in the cartoon. So it pretty much reminds me of that, and but not in a good way. And to answer Flash again, essential munitions seems to be pretty good. The advanced mechanics seems to work fine to regenerate power. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. The gameplay seems not very good. So I guess if you don't care about the gameplay and just want to play some sort of interactive cinematic, then it's probably fine. But that's not really what I want. Which is ironic because I kind of miss having the cinematics in DC Universe Online. But I want to have some good gameplay too. If you have cinematics but the gameplay stinks, it doesn't really help anyone. But I can easily imagine that there's some audience for that kind of game. I'm just not one of them, I suppose. And from what I understand, once more they had some problems with the PC port. The same with Arkham Knight. The PC port for Arkham Knight was all kinds of not awesome at all. I was about to say something else, but I'll just stick with the PC port on Arkham Knights was very poor, and apparently they have similar problems with the Telltale series on PC. So if you want to play it, I'd suggest you play it on. I assume you can play it on PS4 or Xbox. Actually, I just realized I have no idea what.
Some of the lanterns have taken it upon themselves to protect the miserable inhabitants of this planet.
Well, aren't you an eager little earthling? If my ring weren't acting up, I'd love to explore the field.
Could be.
But for now, between us and the Green Lantern's power construct. Bring down the shield. To the attack!
Before, no more cores. Poor Zack Snyder. Oh, it's probably the Sinestro Corps. As much as I like the Green Lantern Corps, when they had the Green Lantern Sinestro Corps war, holy crap, that was something. And essentially, when they reinvented Sinestro, I really started liking the character. I remember at some point, for a long time, he was the goofy guy with the like purple costume and the villain mustache. But with the Sinestro Corps, they really made him into a better villain. Not the right word, but that's all I can think of right now. Essentially, they upgraded Sinestro into a much better character with the Sinestro Corps, the Green Lantern Sinestro Corps War. And I really loved the idea of the Sinestro Corps. Hey, Drangon. Yeah, it was supposed to be an Avengers 2, and somehow they decided to cut him out of the movie for some reasons. Short of seeing the actual scenes, it's hard to know if they did a good if they made a good decision. It's a bit strange because Loki is by far one of their better character, if not their best villain. So it's strange that they would cut him out of Avengers 2. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some stupid decision making in the sense that I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to cut him out of the film because maybe he was a better villain than Ultron, because Ultron was a pretty weak villain, and already without Loki in the film, Ultron did seem pretty weak. So imagine if we had Loki in the film to compare, and maybe Ultron would have looked even worse. So that I wouldn't be surprised if there was a silly decision like that. But again, short of seeing the deleted scenes, well, we'll never know if it was a good move or not. Personally, I would have loved to seeing Loki. Loki is really one of the better character of the Marvel universe right now, and in terms of the movies. Oh, we got a robe. Let's see. There's probably a few pieces of gear I forgot to. Well, you have no choice. You have to agree. But seriously, so essentially, Loki is one of the better characters they have, and the performance that the actor gave was really awesome. But again, it could be that he was too awesome. They had a pretty, let's say, I won't say crappy, but a not so good Ultron in the film. So having an awesome Loki maybe was making Ultron look bad. Although Ultron did look bad anyways, but that's another point.
You're crazy if you think the ring malfunctions have anything to do with us, Sinestro.
It's hard to believe that they went the way they went with Ultron, although that's pure Whedon. Sometimes he's trying to be too clever for his own good. Because Ultron should have been a sinister character, not the goofy character that they tried to turn him into. Ironically, the best Ultron we saw was in a cartoon. There was this cartoon, this animated movie called Avenger Next or Next Avenger. I never recall which one it is. And essentially, it's Ultron who conquered the world, and the children of the Avengers have to try and stop him. And holy crap! In that cartoon version, we had the better version of Ultron. He was sinister, and it was Ultron, which sadly is something we didn't have in the Avenger film.
Intriguing. I will certainly remember your face, for I may have a mission here on this planet Earth that would suit you well.
Oh, Blackest Night was awesome, and yeah, if we had Sinestro as a mentor, it would be pretty sweet. Sadly, they went with more or less what was supposed to be the three more well-known characters, at least at the time. And even then, with Cersei, they had to stretch it a bit because essentially they wanted to have a mentor. They wanted to have characters that would mirror the heroes. So to mirror Batman, obviously you go with the Joker. To mirror Superman, obviously you go with Lex Luthor, even though Lex Luthor is not a meta-human at all. And with Wonder Woman, would you go with? Well, they went with Cersei. Wasn't really a choice more than a lack of option. What would have been great is that I remember at the time when we started playing, or even a bit before we started playing, we started imagining that they would actually add mentors into the game. Like when they were planning to add the Fight for the Light DLC, some of us naively thought that they would add more mentors, like they would add the Green Lantern power, and then that Hal Jordan would be the mentor of the Green Lantern characters, and Sinestro could be the mentor of the Yellow Lantern characters.
After that light show,
So that kind of made some sort of sense to us. But obviously that's not what they were planning to do. They pretty much gave up on the whole mentor idea pretty quickly, it seems. I can't really blame them. It does serve no real purpose in the game the way it is right now. But with better foresight and better planning, I wish they had done something a bit better with the mentors. Like it would have been great if when they added the Green Lantern DLC, that Hal Jordan would become the mentor of the Green Lantern characters, Sinestro the mentor of the Yellow Lantern characters, and then when they added the Lightning Strikes DLC, then Flash would become the mentor of the Speed characters or the Electric characters, and Zoom would become a mentor of the same thing but on the villain side. So it would have been great if they would have added to the old mentor thingy as the game progressed, but sadly that's not really what happened. The same with the cities. Like naively, some of us thought that okay, they started with Gotham and Metropolis. At some point they'll add a Central City. At some point they'll add a Star City and Coast City and all that. And when they added the Fight for the Light, the Lightning Strikes DLC. And we're talking about adding a Central City. Well, we thought, oh, okay, at last they're adding a third city into the mix. And sadly, we all know what Central City turned out to be. So it was a little disappointing. It would have been great if like once a year, once every 2 years maybe, if they would have been able to add a big city like Gotham and Metropolis. Or even better, if not just a city, like let's say they could add Central City, then Coast City, then Star City, then Midway City, and then at some point it would have been great if they would have added Oa and Thanagar and Ran and other locations like that, but as a real map like the Gotham and Metropolis maps. But now that we know what we know about the development team and the resources that they have to make this universe online, we realize that it was never really an option. Aw, our nice hat is obsolete. I'm so sad now. But yeah, having Sinestro as a mentor would have been really cool. Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that a recent development? It won't be surprising because so far all their movies have been a mess. There's no other word to describe them. Uh, just BVS has been no exception, and Suicide Squad is even more of a mess than any of the other previously. So I wouldn't be surprised if Wonder Woman is actually a mess. Although we did have a great Wonder Woman trailer, but the same movies. The same could have been said with the other movies, like BVS. At some point, we had some really good trailers about BVS, which were encouraging, and then we got the Doomsday trailer, which pretty much destroyed any hope we had of getting a good film. The same with Suicide Squad. The marketing campaign was going pretty well at some point, and then they messed up pretty badly. And then there was all the rumors that of all the productions, the production problems they had, and all the reshoot they had to do, and all that stuff. So it was a pretty big mess for on that front as well. I'm not sure we know. And let's see what powers could we add. Um, well, for now, let's. Oh, when in doubt, well, let's give him some iconic powers. That's usually what I do when I don't know which new powers to take. And I don't want to spend half an hour looking through the powers while you guys are watching, so I'll do that some other time. Now let's see, what else can we give our friend Batzarro? Let's give him some Batarang, why not? Okay, so do you know where? Because I haven't seen what you're mentioning about Wonder Woman. I guess if I do a quick search, I'll probably find some of it. But is there any specific place I could look at a specific website that does mention the problems you're mentioning? It's not a big deal if you don't remember. I can easily search by myself. Well, let's buy back the weapon I sold by accident. Let's buy back that too. But if it's true about Wonder Woman, it's going to be a little disappointing, since it's the one beacon of hope that some people had, that maybe things would get better. But one has to wonder how many times can they drop the ball before some drastic changes happen. Well, someone has asked if I could play a hero character a bit later, and so yeah, if you want, I could play the Alan Scott character, not a problem. The White reboot, the DC Universe? I'm not sure what you mean exactly. Comicnews.com. Okay, I'll look it up in a bit. Oh, I can look it up right now. Come to think of it. I'm a bit surprised. Usually they send me an email or something. We can see that there's Kevin Conroy who's saying that Batman is not a killer. He's not comfortable with Batman killing, which I can't really blame him. Batman should not be killing people. That's so much missing the point of the character that it's not even funny. Especially and even within the context of
You might remember me from other exploration adventures, such as the Amusement Mile, Robinson Park,
it's okay.
Metropolis's exotic Chinatown. What's up? Today's
Calculator sent you to me about the Wayne diamonds in Burnley. You're in luck.
A contact of mine figured you
Conflict
as a
says I tell
results-oriented
you how to
individual
get in.
who isn't
Okay, just give me a second. I'll try to look up the
To get past
info about the Wonder Woman
put me in on have to take
film.
non-negotiable.
Okay, there is some Wonder Woman rumor, and Patty Jenkins, the director, is seems to be trying to do some sort of damage control. Okay, Wonder Woman movie said to be a mess. By former WB employee. Is it Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad all over again? According to an alleged former Warner Bros. Employee, things aren't looking good for Wonder Woman as well. An open letter, more of a rant at WB CEO Kevin Sugiura, goes off about the current state of Warner Brothers and DC Comics. And DC Movies, sorry. The person that penned the rant posted to Pajiba, I have no idea what that is, goes on to complain about all the layoffs at Warner Bros., blaming Kevin Sugiura for them because of his poor decision making resulting in a string of movies that have all flopped. You just don't get it, and it's not just DC movies; it's your whole slate. Jupiter Ascending, Get Hard, Hot Pursuit, Max, Vacation, Pan, Point Break. Yeah, you have to give him that. Their whole slate has been pretty much garbage for quite some time. People lost their job, and you decided Pan was a good idea. You think another Jungle Book is a good idea. Reducing the DC movies, it seems that Suicide Squad was the last straw for the writer of this article. Oh, that's a close call for Fire and Ice. They're both really good. I'd say maybe Ice. Fire has probably more damage, but Ice has more survivability. Although I don't know, it would be a close call, I guess. So and the guy continues. I kept holding off on doing anything with it because of one title, Suicide Squad. Zack Snyder's Dawn of Justice was a fiasco. But here comes this plucky little dark adventure about anti-heroes. I love David Ayer. I love Harley Quinn. I love Will Smith. Put the letter in a drawer. The ship isn't sinking anymore. Everything is fine. There's no way this movie is bad. And here we are. I got back from my screening and dusted this sucker off. You, your executive teams, and the vision of your extraordinary storytellers that resulted in the loss of around 1,000 jobs seems intent on crashing the ship into as much shit as you can find in the ocean by making inane decisions over and over. Well, that's not. And regarding Wonder Woman, the writer pans to Sugiura. What are you even doing? I wish to God you were forced to live out of a car until you made the #1 movie of the year. Maybe Wonder Woman wouldn't be such a mess. Don't try to hide behind a great trailer. People inside are already confirming it's another mess. It's almost impressive how you keep rewarding the same producers and the executives for making the same mistakes over and over. Zack Snyder also takes some blame in the guy's comments. Zack Snyder is not delivering, he is being punished. Assistants who were doing fantastic work certainly were. People in finance and in marketing and in IT, they had no say in the movie called Batman v Superman, having only 8 minutes of Batman fighting Superman in it. That ends because their moms have the same name. Snyder is a producer on every DC movies. He is still directing Justice League. He is being rewarded with more opportunity to get more people laid off. I'm assuming you yourself haven't been financially affected in any real way. You and your studios are the biggest reason about life one can learn. The top screw up and the bottom suffers. Peter Jackson phoned it in, and a marketing supervisor had to figure out a plan B to for house payments. Yeah, that's pretty harsh, but I can understand his point of view. It's something that happens very often in productions. Very often, the people who make the poor decisions are not really the one who will pay the price for those poor decisions. I could have sworn I saw something here. Maybe not. So yeah, it doesn't sound good. If it's another mess, that's going to be heartbreaking because they've had so far all their movies have been a mess. Man of Steel was a mess. Batman v Superman was a mess, and I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. But if we listen to the consensus, that movie is also a mess. Oh, I see the Josh Whedon rumor to direct The Flash and Supergirl. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. And now it seems they want to connect the Shazam movies to the rest of the DC universe, the DC movie universe. For a long time, they kept on saying they wanted to keep that film separate from the rest for reasons. Well, I guess they changed their minds. So let's take that little mission over here. So essentially, that mission is to it's right over there. Find incriminating evidence over there. But we're gonna come back over there anyway once we get out of here. So let's get in here first. And let's see what Patty Jenkins is saying about the Wonder Woman rumors. The side. I have to use my pistols a bit more. I keep on only using my powers, which is not a bad idea, but I kind of like using my pistols. Okay, so let's try and see what our friend Patty Jenkins is saying about the Wonder Woman rumors. Okay, she's saying, whoa, just saw this press about Wonder Woman having problems. Are they serious? This is some made-up BS right here. Made up. Yeah, that was to be expected. I have to admit, I did not hate Green Lantern the same way a lot of people did. I can see a lot of the problems, but there was some really good stuff in there. There was a really good movie hidden within the Green Lantern film. Sinestro, holy crap, was he awesome! Mark Strong, I really enjoyed Mark Strong's work. In Kick-Ass, he was 10 kinds of awesome. The first time I saw him, it was in Sherlock Holmes, and I wasn't too crazy about him that first time. But then when I saw him in Kick-Ass, holy crap, I thought he was really good. And when I saw him again in Green Lantern, holy crap, he was even better than good. So I wouldn't essentially I even preferred Green Lantern to some of the latest films like Man of Steel and Suicide Squad and not Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman. Even though they weren't great, I wouldn't say Green Lantern was great, but I thought it was better than those films, and despite the mess that those films were, and despite all its flaws, and I thought what's his name? I thought Brian Reynolds did a good job playing Hal Jordan. He wasn't exactly the Hal Jordan we're used to. He was a bit more jokey than Hal Jordan should have been, but I thought he did good. But my least favorite. My least favorite. Well, of course, you have to go with. There's movies like Catwoman. That movie was garbage. There's no other word to qualify that. That movie was horrible on any front. It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good superhero movie. It wasn't good at all. Uh, I guess it didn't help that I'm not really a fan of Halle Berry, and in that movie that movie was a real mess. And there's other films like which other one was pretty bad. So I won't start with my least favorite because there'll be the list will be too long. I'll just go from the top and list my favorites instead. I'm not sure which one to take. Essentially, at the top, it's the Tim Burton Batman film, and it's the Christopher Reeve Superman film. Superman and Superman 2 are at the top of the list with the Batman Tim Burton. I cannot choose one over the other. These three films are at the top of my list. I really enjoyed those films
Diamonds to power my freezing
for many
in the
reasons.
General Hospital. A matter of life and death. But
Watchmen was okay, but it had a lot of issues. Essentially, pretty much everything that was done, more pretty much like the comic, was fine. Like Rorschach was exactly like it was in the comic, and that was perfect. But whenever they tried to take some liberties with the material, 9 times out of 10 they would make a poor decision. I thought the musical choices were goddamn awful. My favorite Legion of Doom character. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess I would say Lex Luthor. It depends on which incarnation you're talking about. The one I have in mind right now is the one from the Justice League cartoons, the Bruce Timm Justice League cartoons. Uh, in that incarnation, my favorite would be Lex. Uh, he was voiced by Clancy Brown, who was a really awesome Lex Luthor. Oh, I'm not at all in the in the right spot. Watchmen was a mixed bag. Yeah, I've read the Morrison's Multiversity. It was okay. It had some fun bits. He's usually trying to be a little too metatextual, and it doesn't always work as well as he thinks it does. Vandal Savage again. It depends on which incarnation. Sometimes he's really good. Sometimes he's pretty much a C-list villain. It's a case by case basis. Sorry about that. It had to be mentioned if we have to. Hey, here's our friend Static Shock. Sadly, we're not powerful enough to try to take him on. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I should probably. There we go.
What Joker's plan is, but Two-Face is going to want his cut of those diamonds. So if Mr. Freeze uses them to power his freeze equipment, you better hope Two-Face's coin doesn't come up heads.
Oh,
I do believe the GCPD is planning a big, super secret attack against Freeze at the hospital. Go bust it up. It'll keep Freeze thinking you're on his side. Besides, I know how much you enjoy beating up our boys.
not sure why our friend Superman is hanging in low-level missions. We can lose him here. Oh, yeah, Vandal Savage was good in Young Justice. It was pretty good also in Legends of Tomorrow. I remember the first time I saw him in Arrow, I wasn't too sure. Something was bugging me about him. Was it in Arrow or the Flash? Anyway, it was during the Flash Arrow crossover. So there was something bugging me a bit about Vandal Savage the first few scenes we saw him. But then by the end of the crossover, I don't know, I got used to him and I really enjoyed him. You were the goddamn Batman. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. At first, I didn't like him, and then I got used to him, and I really enjoyed him for the rest of the run. So, but I remember in some of the comics, at some point, he wasn't too inspiring a villain. He was pretty much a C-list villain for quite a bit. But as you mentioned, the goddamn Batman. Essentially, there's this guy Linkara who does. Oh, our friend Superman is still there. Essentially, there's this guy called Linkara who sometimes does comic reviews. And when he was reviewing what everyone called Asbar, All Star Batman and Robin, uh, he would call. He would pretend that the Batman in Batman All Star Batman and Robin was a hobo somehow got his hand on Batman's costume, and he called him Crazy Steve. So it was like a hobo pretending to be Batman. So he would call him Crazy Steve throughout his reviews. The music and the Christian Bale Batman was pretty good. It didn't sound like Batman though, if it makes any sense. Like when you heard the Danny Elfman music in Batman, it was you couldn't imagine that music on anything else than Batman. It was gothic, it was dark, it was Batman. The music from the Christian Bale Batman, you could take that music and apply it it could be a good music for a James Bond film. It would be a good music for the Fast and the Furious film. It's a great action music. It's a great score, but it's a score that could be applied to anything. It's not a score that says Batman. That's one of the biggest flaws that the Christopher Nolan Batman has. It has no personality. It's pretty generic. Like you look at the city, and that Gotham City, in one movie it looks like Chicago, in the other movie it looks like New York City, in the third movie it looks like Boston. There's no identity to the whole thing. So it could be it's pretty generic. That's the one flaw I find. Well, no, it's one of the flaws that I find in the Christopher Nolan Batman. Yeah, Hans Zimmer did the newest versions, the Batman, the Man of Steel music. But Danny Elfman did the one from Batman in 1989, and the 1989 version uh, screams Batman. You cannot imagine anything other than Batman and with that music, as opposed to the one that was used in the Christopher Nolan Batman film. You could use that for any number of generic action movies. Did I reach 400? I didn't check. Let's see. Well, what do you know, guys? So you learned it live, 400 subscribers, and I owe it all to you guys. Thank you very much, guys. It's much appreciated. Without you, I would have no subscribers, obviously. So I guess I'm gonna have to make up some sort of thank you videos tonight or something. And thanks for the info, Martin. Much appreciated. Well, thank you, Flash. The boosters. Which boosters? You mean the XP boosters? You have to get them from the marketplace. Let's see. I shouldn't do that in the open world. If I get killed, it's your fault. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. Uh, it's probably an upgrade, I guess. Or supplies. You have the XP booster pack, 2 pack for 90 cents or $1 if you're not a member. Or do you mean the double XP? The double XP comes from the Wonder Woman emblem. Essentially, if you log in with your character, let's say you didn't log in with it before, you should get an email from. Yeah, maybe someday we'll get 1 million. Uh, But if you're talking about the Wonder Woman double XP thingy, once you log in into the game, you should get an email from Daybreak. I probably still have it. I would have to go check my mail. Essentially, Daybreak should send you a mail, which tells you to get the Wonder Woman emblem, and as soon as you consume the Wonder Woman emblem, then you get double XP for about 7.5 hours or something like that. And as for getting 1 million subscribers, maybe someday, who knows. Is the audio cutting off for anyone else, or is it just a mirage? Okay. So I guess we'll wait for Mirage to come back. Perfecto. That is good. That is good. The Black Lantern chest style is called Herald of the Black, something like that. It's something that you can only get once you reach tier 7, and I think you have to be combat rating. I'm not sure what actually. Crap. You don't have to be in Africa to get a bad connection sometimes. It happens.
Mr. Freeze arranged a quick heist of some armored Wayne Tech cars with
a Kill him! He took me by surprise, and seeing how fast he killed my character, I probably wouldn't have been able to kill him anyways. At best, I would have been able to maybe run away. So I guess he's hanging around looking for easy preys. As you can see, staying up in the air, and he's probably going to attack from. Oh no, there he is. Ah, crap! That's Superman. Let's try and give him. Ooh, our Lord Darth Magneto killed Superman. That's nice. Hi, Papa Flaming. D&D, yeah, it's good. It depends on if you like fantasy, if you like using your imagination, if you like. And it depends also on the incarnation of D&D you're playing. There's quite a few different incarnations of D&D. There's the original D&D, then there was advanced D&D. So essentially, to answer the double XP question from before, essentially if you log in with a character, it should still be good for about a few days. There's essentially a Daybreak sends you the emblem by mail, and as soon as you consume the emblem, then you get double XP for 7.5 hours. I'm good, I'm good. Although some evil Superman keeps on killing me. Can you believe
Take
that?
your nemesis down a notch? This is the gear.
So once more into the breach, dear friends. So there's a lot more players than there was earlier. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people suddenly decided to log in, or if somehow there's more people in Gotham than in Metropolis, which wouldn't be impossible, I suppose. Oh, well, thank you. And it's all thanks to you guys. I understand. That's exactly how I started having a whole truckload of alts. Essentially, at some point, I was getting burnt out from playing endgame content. So essentially, I created. Essentially, I created like one or two new characters, and then realized that holy crap, the mission leading up to level 30 were pretty fun. I hadn't played them in quite some time. And then whenever I would get burned out from playing endgame content, I would create a new character. And at first, I would create and delete characters. Like I would create a new characters, and then I would delete it, create a new one, delete it, and so on. And then at some point, for some reason, I started not deleting my characters. So I guess I started liking some of my alts. Oh, there's an evil. Was that Superman again? It's Superman again. My favorite DC character has to be Batman. I'm not sure if our friend Superman is trying to attack us or not. I guess not. Superman is so sweet, he did not attack Batzarro or Batzarro. Hey, Blue Lantern. What's the question about before I had Legendary? Oh no, not at all. I did not want to have too many characters. Uh, Essentially, I didn't think that you could play 40 characters realistically, and I guess you can't really. But it wasn't because of lack of room. Essentially, you could create when you're legendary, you can create up to 16 characters. And I remember at some point, just the idea of playing 6 characters, I thought was too much. I thought like 6 characters. I'll never play that much characters. I remember when I first was a premium. I thought, okay, I'll make maybe one hero, one villain, and maybe one more hero for reasons. And then early on, I pretty much one of the nice things I liked was creating new characters. So I would create and delete new characters already back then. Let's give a little thumbs up to our friend Superman.
Psychopath. Springing Freeze's men, beating on cops. After that little act, Mr. Freeze must think you're his new best friend. I had Calculator arrange a meeting for you with one of Freeze's men nearby. Play along until he lets you in the hospital. Then we'll show him what friend.
So essentially, I thought like 6 character was already too much. 16 characters, I never thought I would play that many. So I would create new characters. And, like creating characters is one of the fun part of not just DC Universe Online, but in a lot of games. One of the fun parts is creating new characters.
Hey, you're in tight with Freeze, right?
And also sometimes I would try to I wanted to try out new powers or something like that. So I would create a character to try out a power, and I would try it out up to level 10, 20, sometimes 30, and then I would delete the character, and then I would do the same thing again with another character.
Freeze must be planning to freeze all of Gotham solid so he can finally live outside of his cryo suit. But why does Joker care? He's not the Grinch. He has no heart.
But then at some point, I stopped deleting character, and that's how I essentially ended up with a whole army, as was mentioned. It's not true. I still delete characters, but it's been a while since I've been to New Genesis, so I would have to be there again. I guess you could say that. Maybe I should have made their Red Hood instead. But at the time, I didn't know they were going to make some Red Hood inspired gear. So my bad. Maybe someday I'll respec him. We'll see. Oh, and there's an evil hero nearby. The most tragic? No, I don't think so. There's probably other tragic heroes out there somewhere.
Ivy, you don't see the cold truth. Without these machines, my dearest Nona will never be free of her icy tomb. Frostbitten plants are the least of my worries.
I'm not sure if I would call Ambush Bug tragic, but maybe. Ragman is probably one that comes to mind. Clarion is a fun little bugger. I guess you must be really happy when there's the Halloween seasonal. I first saw Clarion in the pages of Hawk and Dove, the ongoing series. Didn't really know anything about the character before that. J.K. Simmons was awesome as J. Jonah Jameson. One of the very best thing we had in the Spider-Man movies, which is no surprise that they didn't reuse him in any they didn't replace him in the new version of Spider-Man. So as Commissioner Gordon, you should do a great job. Although Gary Oldman in the Christopher Nolan movies, he was really good Commissioner Gordon. It's strange to think that now a lot of the people think of Commissioner Gordon as the guy in Gotham. Let's try and secure ourselves some blood samples. I guess that's what we need. We see Black Canary over there and Green Arrow.
Request assistance.
Let me sing you to sleep.
The gadget version is Batman. This is Batzarro. Well, thank you, Emerizu. Oh crap. $1,000? No, 1,000,000. Come on. 1,000. That's not enough. But seriously, I'm very happy at 400. Never really thought this would happen. So I'm very grateful for that.
You're okay. Freeze wants to talk to you personally.
So,
Oh, we got a mission reward box.
the hospital and do something to Mr. Freeze as he attempts to turn all of Gotham into a winter wonderland with our stolen diamonds. I wish the Joker'd let me in on this joke. Oh well, don't mind me.
Oh, 400 is a good milestone. You're right. Well, was glad to see you, Black Flag.
Hey man,
Thanks for stopping by. It's always appreciated. I will take that one step at a time.
Here we are, the promised land. Mr.
Sure,
Freeze
1,000,000
is
would be
here
nice.
inside Gotham General.
Well, you take what you can sometimes.
Mr. Freeze has been working on his cryotech for ages. Wants to
No, I didn't play the beta for this game. I have friends essentially who play tested this game even before the beta, and they didn't have good words concerning this game.
will allow her to emerge and live again with me. Which world I will create for her in Gotham. Please do join me in initializing your procedure. Meet me in the power room at the end of the corridors.
So when the game, even up to the game when the game was released, I wasn't too enthused about this game. And if it wasn't for free to play, I would not have tried this game. It's silly, but
I would rather see the world buried under an ice age than see a hair on your head harmed.
yeah, I guess 1,000,000 would be 1,000,000 would require every single DCUO players in the world. Maybe. Hi, DCUO fan. But Mirage, yes, I did see the Killing Joke.
His good nature only goes so far.
No, I understand. Essentially, I would not have I would not have tried this game if not for the free to play. Essentially, the buzz around this game was pretty bad. Pretty much everyone agreed that the game lacked content. Yeah, I will play a bit later today. I will play our friend Alan Scott. I'm just trying to finish playing with our friend Batzarro first. Essentially, when I'm done with our friend Batzarro, usually it takes a while for YouTube to process the video. So what I'll do is that when I'm done with Batzarro, I'll process the video through YouTube, and as soon as the video is done processing, I'll make a video with our friend Alan Scott. Yeah, the bad girl scene. There was a lot of things wrong with the Killing Joke film they made. Essentially, the whole first part with Bad Girl was tacked on, and it was a little too obvious. It didn't really fit with the rest of the story. I understand that they were trying essentially to make Bad Girl a bit more important, so that when the Joker essentially hurts her, it would have some impact. But it didn't really work. Oh yeah, the difference between PS4 and PS3 is it's night and day. It's not even funny. Yeah, poor Dick Grayson. I guess he ended with Batman's sloppy second, I suppose. Where's that? There he is. Well, it's not really incest, but I understand it is creepy. It's definitely creepy. I guess they were trying too hard to be edgy and to earn their R rating. Although it didn't even need to be rated R. It could have been PG-13 and it would have been the same. Yeah, it was weird. I wouldn't phrase it like that, but yeah. Well, I'm sure it happens in real life that a teacher would have sex with his student. But we're talking about Batman here. He wouldn't do that. No, I don't have any pets. And yeah, Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy did have a pretty big influence on what Hollywood is trying to do with superheroes now.
My Nora.
Sadly, it's typical Hollywood. Whenever they see something that's successful, they try to copy it, and very often they'll copy it in the most superficial ways. What about the minions? Nah, Batman shouldn't have done that, but they were trying to be edgy and it didn't work. Oh yeah, they were trying to essentially they're trying to copy whatever seems popular, and right now Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy are probably what's influencing them quite a bit. So they're going to try to copy the formula of anything they think is successful. But sometimes they'll do that in the worst way possible. Oh, Batman isn't that old.
There you are. Still room temperature and diamonds intact. They may be a girl's best friend, but friends are overrated, as Mr. Freeze has just learned. Ah, well, we'll have plenty of time to brood over it when the SCU busts in to take him to Arkham.
So let's go collect our reward.
Dreams of joke.
Oh yeah, he's pretty old compared to Barbara, but not to the point where he needs to use Viagra.
Ah, it's my partner in crime. I hear you took down half of Gotham PD to get these back from Mr. Freeze. You certainly know.
Oh yeah, the extra few levels does help a bit because it allows you to have at least a few extra powers or skill points, or both.
Ever hear of the religion of crime? That's Intergang's latest scheme for world domination. They say the crime Bible foretells their rise to power. I say we need to get our hands on that book. Go see Deathstroke in the Burnley nightclub for more.
So before we talk to our friend Deathstroke, let's pick up our mail. Mr. Free sent us some mittens for our little fingers. Oh, and it's actually good ones. The mission log is should be helpful, but it can be annoying sometimes too. The way it sometimes doesn't always work properly, or it doesn't track your mission sometimes. I probably should have sold that on broker, but whatever. Oh, we're going to fight our friend Mannheim.
So you think you can take on Intergang? I applaud your ambition. They've created a religion of crime that promises they'll take over the world. I'd stop them myself, but there's no bounty in it. Yet.
So, Intergang's famed crime Bible. Sounds like fascinating reading. Let's go check out that book. Permanently. Intergang's latest hotspot is now on your map.
I've only seen the first season of American Horror Story. Somehow I managed not to see the other. As I mentioned a bit earlier, essentially I'm gonna play a bit more with our friend Batzarro. When I'm done playing with Batzarro, usually what YouTube does is that it processes the video to put on YouTube forever. So once the Batzarro video is done processing, then I'll log in with our friend Alan Scott, and then I'll do a whole stream just with Alan Scott. So essentially I will do a whole stream with our friend Batzarro. Should be done fairly soon. Then I'll process the video, and then I'll do a whole stream with Alan Scott. How does that sound? Oh. Sorry about that. And I went to the wrong place. Well, if you cannot get the Alan Scott stream live, as soon as the stream is done, again, YouTube will process the video, and the video will be available to be viewed forever. So I'm sorry if you won't be able to see it live, but at least you're going to be able to see it as a rerun, quote unquote. Yeah, a lot of low-level mobs can kill you if there's enough of them around. Oh no, I haven't looked for the Aquaman photo. Give me a second. I'll give it a look. Let's see the Aquaman. Okay, last I checked was Patty Jenkins. There is an article about Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa, so I assume that's what you're talking about. No, that's not it. There's no real photo. Oh, the one with the guitar? Is that the one? Oh, we saw that that version of Aquaman ages ago, so. She is a very pretty lady. We'll give her that. Essentially, the worry that a lot of people had is that she's not really an actress. She's essentially a fashion model turned actress. But so far, what we saw of her as Wonder Woman, she seems to be doing a really good job. So.
The Book of Blood.
Well, the armor will do most of the work. Essentially, they've sculpted the armor to essentially give her more body where she lacks it, if it makes any sense. Although her being skinny was a concern when they announced the role. Hi, Modems 21. her being skinny was a concern when they announced that they were giving her the role. And I remember at the time they told people some BS about that she could bulk up and things like that. And obviously they had no intention of doing that. They just said that to shut people up.
No one interferes with Intergang and lives.
Probably.
Get 'em, boys.
Well, I'm not sure about the height, but she does have the look, even though she's not she's fairly skinny. But again, the armor can cover up, can make up for her being skinny. They can bulk her up a bit with the armor. And yeah, Danny, everyone is probably a guy here. Essentially, the analytics on YouTube tells me that there's about 5% female that watches those streams, and 95% guys. So the odds are you guys are pretty much all guys. At best, there's maybe one female.
He's doing it tonight. That's all I know.
All that was informative.
Oh yeah, level 28.
Bible promises infinite power. Sounds good.
Is our friend Batzarro going to be level 30 before we're done?
I'm tracking a fair amount of intergang activity around this warehouse.
Yeah, the robot Batman head is pretty rare. If you really want to have that head, I strongly suggest that you buy it from the broker. It's going to be so much easier. So farm for cash instead, and buy it from the broker. Unless you're free to play. If you're free to play, then you won't be able to purchase it. If you're free to play, you have no choice but to farm for it. But if you're premium, even premium, you're gonna have to. If you're legendary, I would suggest buy it from the broker. But if you're free to play or premium, then you're gonna have to farm for it. Sorry about that. And yeah, it is a rare gear. I'm not sure about the patience thing, but okay. So if you're legendary, farm for cash a bit, and go buy it from the broker. It'll be so much easier. Last I checked, it was about 100,000 on the broker.
I smelled someone in here.
I commit your soul to Cain.
Where is that Peter Pan reference from? Are you trying to tell me something?
The Book of Blood, Chapter 40, verse 26.
The old chest teeth.
Lilith raised him up.
Why is that supposed to be like somebody's dream that we see, or somebody's last thought before they die that we actually see in the series?
Not strength nor
Paradise?
You'll need to turn off the
Heaven?
security camera unless you want intergangs
Hell?
from all directions. Should be a terminal in here somewhere.
Well, he's going to Flashpoint in his own TV series, so that'll be a start. Well, Wonder Woman doesn't age. Are you saying she's in heaven? It's probably the Yellow Lanterns. Although I kind of like the black too, or even the green, but I guess I have a special fondness for the Yellow Lanterns. The Rage Lantern started as a bad guy as bad guys, and then reformed as more or less heroes or anti-heroes, depending on what the publisher wanted. Larfleeze is a fun character.
It's a trap.
Well, thank you, Delos.
Rejoice, my shapeshifters. The prophecy is fulfilled.
It is the Batman from Bizarro World, hence Batzarro. Razor was very fun. It was one of the good things on the Green Lantern animated series. I have to admit, I have no idea if he's even in the comics. From what I understand, I thought he was a construct of the TV series. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they added him in the comics at some point. I'm not sure what we would call Bizarro Flash. Would have to give it some thoughts. Flash Zaro? Maybe. Bizlash? Maybe. There should be a little chest. Right, there it is. And of course we missed one.
The Book of Blood. Chapter.
So, the religion of crime is after Batwoman. I say we go after the crime Bible while they're
Too bad. We'll get it next time.
checking likely locations now. Bruno Mannheim, leader of Intergang, was last spotted at this location. Seems he never lets the crime Bible out of his sight. So, if we try to see him,
Why not? The animated movies I worked on. I've worked on Heavy Metal 2000, I've worked on what else? I've worked on a movie called Cirilla. Uh, Another one that was called Snow Day, I think. Essentially, the name changed a couple of times. It was supposed to be the dog who stopped the war, and then it was changed a couple of times. I think the last time they changed it to Snow Day or something like that. Obviously, I worked also on straight to DVD movies. Essentially, we had a couple of Christmas special of the Arthur TV series. What else? I have no idea when Shazam is going to be made as a film. They've been talking about it for a long time, but now they seems to be talking about it a bit more. Probably because The Rock is uber popular right now. Uh, I'm not the one who decides those things, sadly. I'm sure I haven't mentioned it before. The best way to detect hidden enemies is with dual pistols. You just spray all around, and if there's any evil enemies that are trying to sneak up on you, too bad, so sad. Well, the lion's share of the viewers are guys, so it's not really surprising. And even in game, like 95% of the time when you see a game, a girl in the game, it's not really a girl. It's a guy with a girl character. Well, let's see if that's a good ring. Not really. Sadly, yeah, I guess you could say that. But it's been like that for pretty much forever. Actually, it's not as bad as it used to be. Eons ago, when you would go to a convention or even a Magic the Gathering tournament or that kind of stuff, the next stream in Zoo should be around maybe around 5, I guess. By the time I'm done here and by the time the video gets processed, I assume that by 5 we should be good to go. But eons ago, like when you would go to a convention, it was like 95% or even 99.9% guys and just a few girls. And when you went to Magic the Gathering tournament, it was pretty much the same thing. Like you would see hundreds of guys and you would see a handful of girls at best.
So that you might learn truths that are hidden, that ye might pull secret.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna get Injustice 2. I guess I'll have to see more about the game. Essentially, the first one was fairly fun, but I'm not sure about some of the changes they made to the second one. And you have these armor or gear or something that you will have to collect to upgrade your character or something. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait and see what they actually do with the game first. The Blue Beetle trailer. Is that a fan film or is that an actual trailer? I'll go watch it right after the stream. We should be done fairly soon.
Let the razor cut quick and right. In Cain's name, we commend the heart of this wayward daughter.
Is it girls into comics or girls into cosplay? Because nowadays we have a pretty big convention in my area. I know when you go there, there is a lot of girls, a lot more girls than there used to be. But 90% of them are not really into comics; they're into cosplay. Which is probably why Suicide Squad had a good first weekend. And I had a lot of female viewers that first weekend. A lot of those viewers were probably some of those girls who are into cosplay, who are cosplaying as Harley Quinn. So they're essentially getting a whole new audience that is into cosplay and not necessarily into the comics, which is okay. Take advantage of cosplay? I'm not sure what you mean exactly. It's okay. The autocorrect is a bane of many people's existence. We got a chest piece from our friend Mannheim and a plan. Oh, and it's a good chest. Let's talk to our friend Deathstroke.
We've got what we're after. Leave them all to lick their wounds.
Oh, and I guess we're done.
That crime Bible is made
Oh,
of
we didn't
solid
even save Batgirl. Or Batwoman, I should say.
We'll check on these prophecies of power and get back to you. Hey, when I lie to you.
The Book of Blood, Chapter 3, Verse 10. Batzarro Marthi.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Murder and take that of which the weak have no need.
Well, there's a lot of conventions that have been essentially banning certain cosplayers who reveal too much skin. Because yeah, it is a whole it is an event for the whole family. So it would be sad to have to see kids excluded because too many girls are not dressed properly. Because I'm a cheater, pumpkin eater. Essentially, I got the cape with another character, so I kept it in my shared bank. and gave it to Batzarro at some point. But I did this mission essentially hundreds of times with different characters. So I got at least a few Batwoman cape, or sometimes once in a while, if I see that the Batwoman cape is very cheap on the broker, I'll just purchase it. Once in a while, you see good deals on the broker. So when you do, enjoy it while it lasts. Doesn't happen all that often. So let's talk to our friend Destro.
I see you managed to make a profit out of stealing Intergang's crime Bible. Nice initiative. I'll have to remember you're up for it.
Well, I can guess. There's a lot of not so well-dressed girls, so it's a feast for the eyes, I suppose. But I can understand the concerns of people who have kids and who sadly don't want to bring their kids to Comic-Con because of the ladies. And I won't even mention the wife problems. I'm sure your wife doesn't want you guys to go there. If you have girlfriends or wives, they probably don't want you to go to Comic-Con either. The fake girl streamers, like the girls who pretend to be fanboys? Is that what you mean? Well, there's not much you can do about that. If people like to watch their streams, what can you do? I guess we should upgrade our colas.
I'm busy, but not so busy that I can't sell you some gear.
Why you toothbrush? Well, a lot of girls do that on YouTube, not just cosplayers. Essentially, at some point, girls figured out that if they were somewhat pretty, they could just show their nice features on YouTube and get views. What can you do? So yeah, I can easily see some girls who pretend to be gamers just to get a following. Usually the way to spot them is when you see that they pretend to be gamers but have no knowledge about games or even comics. Like some girls will pretend to be comics fan but know nothing about comics. Well, wasn't Hungry Lips, wasn't our channel banned or shut down or something? Like I seem to recall seeing videos like Save Hungry Lips or something like that. I wasn't sure what it was about at first until I realized that, oh, okay, they're trying to bring back a channel that was banned. I have no idea if did they bring the channel back or is it still banned? But sadly, you have a lot of clickbait on YouTube. You'll see a lot of videos who will put boobies in their thumbnails just to get a click. I'm not sure what the point though, because essentially the Taylor Darling, I had seen a few of her videos before. She's okay, but she's not really one of those that I follow. essentially those I follow are ASMR requests. Although a lot of those don't do videos very often, sadly. But there's ASMR request that I kind of like to follow. There's Miss Bunny Whispers. There's who else? Visual Sounds. She just did a Harley Quinn one, which was really fun to watch. I guess the evil heroes are out in force today. I guess we're gonna go into the Pillar of 80s. There's a few nice ones that are fun to watch, and it's funny sometimes. I can't. I understand. I know. I know. I can't follow guys at ASMR either. There's one exception. The exception is Bob Ross. That guy was all kinds of awesome. But yeah, I can't. I can't watch guys doing ASMR stuff.
Defeat them and take it so that Trigon. This is what they say.
But I'm a bit surprised about those who still try to do some clickbaiting, because the way YouTube works now is that essentially the amount of time people watch your video factors into whether you make money with your videos or not. So if you have a video that people watch for only 1 second, you're not going to make money out of it. So as soon as people realize that they click on a video that was a clickbait, well, obviously you stop watching the video. At least I assume people will stop watching the videos. So people using clickbait probably shouldn't. Yeah, they do get the click, but they if they don't get people actually watching the video, it doesn't really help them. But we still see a lot of people trying to use some clickbait, so what do I know? Although sometimes people will accuse people of clickbaiting when they're not really, so I guess it's a matter of perspective sometimes. I wouldn't use my girlfriend for that either. Although, who knows, for a few $1,000s, maybe. Well, thank you, T453R. Oh, you mean if the clickbait, if there's an ad when you're clickbait? Okay, yeah, probably. But I thought you didn't get much if people didn't watch your whole video. But yeah, if there's an ad, then I can see why maybe people are still clickbaiting.
Serve Trigon, you must gorge upon his evil.
Well, yeah, a click count is a view, but then there's a whole thing around the audience retention. Like essentially, they will calculate how long people have been watching your video, and let's use an example. Essentially, have you noticed I have videos about Marvel and DC characters on my channel? Essentially, if I have, let's say, a Wolverine video, I could have maybe 100 people watching the video at the start of the video. But then after 5 minutes, I have only maybe 50 people watching the video. And by the end of the video, there's maybe only 5 people still watching the video. So essentially, throughout the whole video, yes, I had 100 views with my Wolverine character. But by the end of the video, only 5 people are still watching the whole thing. As opposed to let's say if I make a video with my Black Lantern Batman, well, let's say 100 people start watching the video, I might lose 1 or 2 people after 5 minutes, but essentially by the time I reach the end of the video, there will still be 90 people watching the video. So even so, and YouTube will take that into account. Like if I wanted to get the maximum from those videos, I would only make videos with let's say the Black Lantern Batman. That because it has a high audience retention. Like essentially, it keeps about 90% of its audience, as opposed to a Wolverine video will keep maybe 13% of the audience, and that factors into what you get for the video. So if someone does some clickbaiting and people watch only like 30 seconds of the video, well, the audience retention will be really, really low. As opposed to if they don't do clickbaiting and if they manage to actually attract an audience and have the audience watch the whole video, then they will get a lot more than if people watch only 30 seconds. Well, that's assuming your kids will want to see your old comics. Sadly, it's something that I've seen happen way too often with friends or even some family. People think that the stuff they like as kids, their kids will like that too, and sadly, that's not always the case. Sometimes the things you like and you think are cool. Oh, I went the wrong way. The things you like and you think are cool, maybe your kids won't like them so much. You're gonna show them Watchmen? Yeah, maybe. So maybe when you have kids, maybe you'll realize that your kids don't like comics very much, or maybe they'll like recent comics and not that old stuff. I've seen that with a lot of kids, a lot of my friends. Like they would keep things like their baseball collection, baseball card collection, or their whatever, thinking, oh, I'll give that to my kids someday, and then they give it to their kids, and their kids don't give rats behind. So they ended up either giving it to someone else or selling it on eBay or something. Oh, I'm sure that happens. Once in a while, your kids will pick up stuff from you, but sometimes they'll go the opposite direction. If you like something, they won't like it. Well, sometimes, yeah, kids will pick up what their parents like. Like I have friends who are uh, who love who are big D&D lovers who manage to transmit that to their kids. So their kids are a lot into D&D, but obviously their kids are into the more recent versions of D&D. So even though they all love D&D, they pretty much all love different incarnation or different eras of D&D. I guess it would be like you being a fan of DC Comics from the Silver Age, and your kids being fan of the New 52. Yeah, you're both fan of DC Comics, but at very different times. Yeah, I know. I saw things like Rambo when I was just a kid, or Alien. In my day, or the Exorcist. I saw the Exorcist. I was, I don't know, 7 or 8. Back in the day, we could see some pretty vile stuff early on. Well, thank you, Mirage. we still have one more. There he is. Am I going the wrong way? I could have sworn I saw a little thing here. Oh well. Yeah, it's a pretty long one.
This is your final test. Behold Raven, Trigon's daughter. She has forced.
I like the movie It. I read the actual book before seeing the film It. I wasn't too crazy about the book when I first read it. I kind of liked the TV. They did a movie for TV in like 2 parts or something. It wasn't bad. It had John Ritter, which I was always a big fan of. As for the camp, do I still camp? Not sure. You mean go camping? Nah, I haven't gone camping in years. A name for you fans, like the multiversers? Maybe I'll have to give it some thought.
Useless as I thought. You see captured here the Titans, mortal enemies of our immortal.
As for camping, I haven't been camping in years. Essentially, in 1988, many decades ago, I was in the army, and in 1988 I spent 9 months in the field. I spent 3 months in New Brunswick, 3 months in Quebec, and then 3 months in Germany. So I did essentially 9 months worth of camping non-stop, and I pretty much got my fill of the wild, of living in the wild. So after that, I didn't really want to do. I didn't see really camping as something fun to do. Whenever I would go camping, I was back in essentially survival mode when I was in the field. So I wasn't too crazy about that. So should we keep on going or should we stop here? I think we're gonna stop here. And there should be a base nearby. Oh, there's actually a few.
Now, find the obelisk the Cult of Blood has erected to Greed to bestow yourself the full.
Yeah, my favorite is Batman. That's true. This is the base of our friend Spawn. And we can make a pretty good version of Spawn. Although if I get more style, I probably could make an even better, more version, if it makes any sense. So let's go back to our base. We're going to repair, re-imprint, and all that good stuff. Actually, I'm in my mid 40s. So in '88, I was a young man. But already, I had a lot of adventure in me. I traveled the world. But I don't usually tell my war stories, sort of. I like pretty much every incarnation of Batman. I know that it's popular to hate the old Adam West TV show, but holy crap! At the time, it was awesome. It was all we had. Uh, and also at the time that people seem to forget that at the time the Batman TV show was pretty faithful to the comic. That's pretty much how the comics were at the time. Like this was before the Neil Adams era of the character. So yeah, the show was goofy, and there were uh, literally making a comic TV show. So they would they would try to do a lot to inject a lot of comedy into the show. But still, it was again it was all we had. We never had a real superhero TV show before that. Well, it's not true, but my generation didn't have such a TV show at the time. Yeah, towards the end of the Silver Age and the Bronze Age. Actually, no, I was pretty much born more or less around the time of the Bronze Age. Like the when I was born, the Silver Age was pretty much ending, and the Bronze Age was starting. Well, the humor was fine for its time. Sure, it may seem dated now, but at the time it was fine. So it was the best superhero TV show we had at the time. Even in cartoons, we didn't have anything that matched that. So let's see. Oh, we got a new PowerPoint and some skill points. Let's put it here somewhere. Let's go for defense. Oh, I saw Inglourious Bastards and what's the other one? And Fury. They were fine for what it was. Fury is probably the one I liked best. And Glorious Bastard was fun for the first half. By the time we reached the last episode, I'm not sure how to probably qualify that. Essentially, it's a series of short stories. And by the time we reached the last short story, I was a little tired with that film. But when it started really strong, and it's really overall it's a nice film, but not my favorite, I suppose. Oh well, I was hoping we would be able to reach level 30 with our little Batzarro friend. Well, I guess not, but it's okay. We'll reach level 30 next time. So essentially, I'm going to stop the video in a few seconds. Um, I'm going to do another live stream a bit later. Essentially, it takes a while for YouTube to process, especially the longer the video, the longer is the video, and the longer it'll take some time for YouTube to process it. So ideally around 5, YouTube should be done processing the video. So we'll make another live stream at 5, and this time we'll play on the hero side, and we'll play with our friend Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. So thanks for watching, guys, and bye to you all of you. as well. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.